Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we finally have confirmation that the Battlefield Engineer event's going to be coming in approximately a day and 3/4, at least from the time of this video going up. So the event starts on the 11th of April at 11 GMT, and it's only until the 22nd of April 11 GMT. Now this video is going to be going through the event itself, when it comes to, what it is and how to understand it. I'll do a separate video on my tips and tricks. I'll do another video on the critique, and maybe even a rallying call, because I think that's always important in these types of times. So the first thing I want to do, just understand that this is a community event. Even though you get individual prizes, the way to get through this, just like the Operation Summer event, is by being with the community. It's by talking with each other, it's by chatting, it's by keeping your sanity through these means, and the way to do it is on the Tech Hub Discord. So there is a link in the description to the official Tech Hub Discord. We are one of the most active War Thunder Discords out there, and what we're going to do is create a page with all of the information you'll require for the Battlefield Engineer event. We'll also create some rooms so you can chat to people and, be able to make sure to keep your sanity while you're doing all of this and understand what's going on. It's a very nice Discord. We don't really curate it too much. We do have some rules, but the rules themselves are very self-explanatory. Overall, the whole point of the Discord is to give it a place where the War Thunder community can talk and can chat freely about issues they have in the game and discuss them. Now, during the event, we're going to try and have a positive light. We're going to try and be optimistic about pushing forward through it. And because I know for a fact, just looking at this event, there's going to be a lot of pessimism about it. And therefore, we want to be kind of like, not really a shining beacon, but more of just an area where people can just sit down, enjoy playing some War Thunder, and have a chat while also doing the event. So, if you like that, if you also like giveaways, we're going to be doing game giveaways during the event, maybe some other giveaways as well. If you like events and tournaments and things like that, we also do them all in the Tech Hub. So please join so we can help you with the event as you help us as well. Now, on top of all of this, let's go through what this event is. It's a Build-A-Bear event, not the same as the IS-7 event, it's slightly different. Basically what we have here is after your first battle in a rank 2 or above vehicle that you have, you will be given a broken I-180S. And this I-180S, you have to run what is known as a diagnostics test on it. So it isn't just a test flight, it's some kind of diagnostic test, work out what's wrong with it and basically fix it. Now, what happens is after getting your first I-180S and completing it after running the diagnostic test and then fixing it by, doing it through parts and stuff, you can then either keep it or trade it in for one of 3 vehicles. You can get yourself an I-180S, a VFW, or an MPK PR122 BIS. Then, after you've done that, you start working on your second I-180S, and then you can just keep creating I-180Ss until you have enough to be able to pay for or get the coupons for all of these vehicles. That's basically how it's happening. So these vehicles here, they are 1 coupon. That means in order to get a VFW, you only need 1 of the I-180S coupons to be able to get it, right? So in order to get these 3 vehicles that you see here, you have to repair and construct 3 I-180Ss, okay? Now, this is where it gets interesting. The single vouchers are these vehicles, and in order to complete any of these vehicles, the Ju-388, the Merkava, or the Tiger, you need 2 coupons each, right? So in order, let's say you want to build the Merkava, what you have to do is create 2 I-180s completed, and you can trade them in for a Merkava. That is the way this works. So basically, as an individual, if you want to get all of these vehicles, you will have to build 9 I-180Ss. 3 for these, and 6 for these. And if you're able to do that, then you yourself can get all of the vehicles. If you just want to focus on one vehicle, let's say you only want the Tiger, then all you have to do is just build 2 I-180s and you're able to get your hands on it. That is how this is working, right? So the initial assembled I-180 fighter will be available with the coupon. So that's after repairing it. Then the second and further I-180S fighters will be received as vouchers, because obviously you can't get another coupon for the I-180 since you already have, the coupon itself. So this coupon can be traded for any of these, and the voucher itself can also be traded for anything, right? So the reason why it's called a voucher instead of a coupon is so you can't just farm I-180Ss and just sell them all on the market. Instead, what you can do is make sure to get other vehicles that you want. Now, the vouchers get traded for, as you can see, coupons, right? So if you yourself want to trade 2 vouchers from the I-180S and get yourself a Merkava and then get the coupon and sell it on the marketplace, you can do that, right? That is an opportunity that you have. So understand that even if you don't want a vehicle, you can trade it in on the Gaijin markets for Gaijin coins, so therefore you can either get, premium packs or, GE or other stuff on the market instead. Now, unfortunately, this is only available for PC players. Hopefully, console players eventually will get a system like this, but you guys do get a few perks, at the end of it. So, at the end of the day, this is, as I said, how it's working. You are creating I-180Ss in order to build other machines by exchanging the I-180Ss you're making for those machines, right? That's the baseline. So let's talk about how do you create these I-180Ss. Well, first of all, you have to run aircraft diagnostics, and this is how it's going to work. So the first step in repairing your aircraft is diagnosing the vehicle in a diagnostic test flight, where you will be able to see the defective components so that you can concentrate on replacing them. The damage to the components is unique for each aircraft, and in most cases they can be indicated by visual inspection. Armament, flaps, brakes, these and other components can be tested in a diagnostic flight. So they don't say here a test flight. Instead they say a diagnostic test flight. So my feeling is this is going to be different from a normal test flight. And the reason for it is if you just decided to plonk people into a normal test flight, they could just go into X-ray mode and work out what is wrong with their aircraft and then just go from there. So, once you've run the diagnostic test and you've worked out what is wrong with your aircraft, then you have to, you'll receive what is known as a toolkit for the I-180S assembly. Now, this contains the aircraft itself, which you've run the diagnostic test flight on, and also once you've run the test, you have to pick which option it is in order to fix it. So let's say you have a system marked here which has issues with its horizontal stabilizer, fuel system, rudder, electrical equipment and armament. You have to click this one and then choose selection, right? So the whole point of the diagnostic test, which we don't know what it will look like, but my guess is it will just be like a short video or something showing off features of the I-180. You take what you find in that video and you have to pick what is wrong with the plane from the diagnostic test. Once you've picked that, then you know what you have to work on going on to the next stage. So you'll have 6 options. And as I said, this is unique. So this isn't something that an individual can be able to copy off other people. This isn't like the IS-7 recipes. Just remember, as it said, every vehicle is unique when it comes to its problems. See, the damage to the components is unique for each aircraft. So what you have to do is you personally have to find what is wrong with it by looking at the aircraft, and once you've worked it out, maybe the armament isn't working, maybe the lights aren't working, maybe the rudder is just not working. So once you have a baseline of what is wrong with your aircraft, you can then work out which one is correct. Then, once you pick it, and once you get it correct, then you can start working on fixing those issues. So once you find the defects, you disassemble the aircraft using the technician toolkits, and you start repairing it. So what you do by repairing it is as simple as this. When you are in battles, if you remember the IS-7 event, there were stages, right? You were able to get parts out of battles. Those parts were used to build. You got like tools and stuff like that. Those were used to make parts. Components, and then the components eventually got turned into parts of the vehicle, and then the parts eventually got turned into the whole vehicle. It's the same idea here, right? So during battles, you yourself can earn, let's just see if we can find it exactly. You can earn, oh, where are you at? I know that you're here somewhere. Just want to make sure not to get this bit wrong, because there are so many little things here and there. There's a lot of stuff going on in this one, which is good, but at the same time, here we go. So for every 10 minutes you spend in a battle, you receive a special crate that contains 1 to 3 aircraft maintenance technician toolkits, okay? So what you do is in battle you get yourself what is called these. Every 10 minutes in a battle you get 1 to 3 of them. These are used to build components. As you can see, aircraft maintenance technician toolkit 3, right? So once this is built, you use parts from this, components from this to build parts. As you can see, once again, aircraft maintenance technician toolkit. So it's as simple as this, right? You earn these aircraft maintenance technician toolkits in battles. You use these to build components. Once you have enough components for a part, you put them together to create the part. When you have enough parts, you now have enough to fix your I-180S, which has been disassembled into its parts. So the whole point of this process is to work out what is wrong with your aircraft and then fix those parts which are wrong and replace them with parts which work. I know it sounds confusing, but this is the basis, right? It's as simple as that. Run diagnostic test, find out what's wrong with your aircraft. Then, in battles, earn aircraft maintenance technician toolkits to build components which can then build the parts which are wrong with your aircraft, so therefore you can put together your I-180. And then you use your I-180s either to get an I-180 or to trade it in for the other vehicles here. That is the basis, the basic thing of this event. And I know a lot of people are confused, but that is it. If you break it down, that's the bottom line of it. Now, when it comes to other stuff, one of the problems that we had with the I-7 event is that it was all time-based and there was no actual reason to really try really try in the battles. Well, now they've actually put extra rewards in for the top performing players. So the more efficient players, as they say, can assemble their vehicles 80% faster. And what this means is if you become number 1 in your team, if you actually get in the first position on your team at the end of a battle, you receive an extra trophy on top of the other trophy that you have, which contains between 1 and 3, and also in rare cases, 10 aircraft maintenance technician toolkits. So you can either double what you're normally getting if you come first, or you can get just 10 of them, which is around about half an hour's worth of grind. At a minimum, which is insane. So you can really speed up your process if you're doing great. On top of this as well, you'll be able to receive a coupon for a unique camo for one of these special vehicles. Since it's a coupon, you will be able to buy these on the market afterwards. My guess is they might be kind of pricey, but we'll see going forward. I really want to get these camos, and I'm going to work really damn hard to get them. But yeah, so if you are good at the game, you can speed up the process. Or if you cheese the game, you can also speed up the process. You know how I made that video a few days ago, easy way to get 2k? We'll just expand that out and you can get first quite easily. So, here are all the terms. You can do this method in arcade, realistic, simulator ground battles, realistic arcade air battles, and arcade naval and realistic. So you can't do this in endurance confrontation or PvE game modes. You have to do it in those game modes that are listed here, and also you have to have rank 2 or higher battles with a battle activity of at least 50%. 50% is not hard to get, just shoot a few people. I'm personally going to do it in naval, so I can actually get a bunch of vehicles, which I don't have right now, you know, grind out my Soviet tree basically, and my German tree, and it should be pretty fun. So for every 10 minutes that you spend in a battle, you receive the crate, which contains 1 to 3 aircraft maintenance technician toolkits, which are used to build the components, which are then used to build the parts, and the parts are put together to make the plane, right? So you'll get 10 kits maybe received if players are lucky, and any extra time you spend in battle will not be removed from your progress and will be taken into account for the next battle. This is wonderful. So, for example, if you spend 23 minutes in a battle, you are guaranteed to receive 2 trophies, and 3 minutes will be added on to the time you spend in the next battle. So instead of just jaying out after 10 minutes, now it is collective. So it doesn't matter how long you spend in a battle, as long as it's collectively over 10 minutes in the battle time. Remember, battle time is the important thing here. You will get yourself a crate, and if you spend, let's say, 40 minutes in a battle, that will be 4 crates. So you don't have to worry about, you know, spending 10 minutes in this mission, then 10 minutes in that mission, then 10 minutes in this mission. You don't have to worry about any of that. Just play the game. All you have to do in this event, all you have to do, after running the diagnostic tests and working out how all that works, all you got to do is play the game. That's it. You know, you don't have to worry about challenges. You don't have to worry about, you know, really anything. You just have to play. That's it. That's why I like these events, because they're really simple from that aspect. You know, they may be quite hard to understand on a grandiose level, but literally it's like, okay, so how do I get these vehicles? Oh, just play the game. Oh, cool. But anyway, so at the end of the battle, you can get any of these trophies that we talked about before, the aircraft maintenance ones or the vehicle camos, and they say it takes about 13 to 15 hours of time in the game to assemble a complete I-180S. Now that is steep, very steep. New components can be gained in rank 2 or higher battles with a battle activity of at least 50%, or they can be purchased on the market. So they're definitely going to heavily push the market in this one, just because of the fact, you know, for the people who actually want all of the vehicles. The examination, assembly, and disassembly take some time, so while this is going on, get yourself into a battle, don't waste time, and an option to trade items in the market is shown in their description. So the ones which you can trade, which I believe will be the aircraft maintenance parts, and also the parts themselves, the aircraft maintenance technician toolkits, and also the parts themselves, so they cannot be purchased on the market, So I'm pretty sure it will just be components or aircraft maintenance parts. That will be, you know, the only things that will be available on the market, plus the actual vehicles themselves. So those are the 3 things. And as you can see, you can gain the items in battle from April 11th till the 22nd. And one of the things is, after creating your first I-180S, you will have to get in subsequent vehicles that you build, so the other I-180Ss to use to trade for the other vehicles, you're going to have to get more rare new components. Now, I don't know what this entails. This worries me. If it's like the IS-7 event, I mean, if you didn't pay your way through it and just played, all of the rare components that you needed, you just got anyway while through the grind. So if that's the case, you know, that's great. But the thing is, we don't know, you know, since we don't have access to it yet. And then on the 29th of April, all the items in the special event vehicle coupons and camouflages will be removed from your inventory. So if you are struggling to complete, you know, some of the things, you have from April 22nd to 29th to be able to assemble I-180Ss using the market or using war bonds. Oh, sorry. Exchanging the stuff for war bonds, then on the 29th everything disappears. So your main grinding time is from the 11th to the 22nd. You've got an 11-day period to build a hell of a lot of vehicles, and this is where I personally have a bit of a problem with it, but we'll go through it in the critique. Pytor has posted a cost-benefit breakdown, which is done by Sidescrape, so thank you for the math, and this is how it is. The TLDR of it is it's about 12 hours a day to get all the vehicles. Now, this is not including, you know, coming first. It's unfair to think that someone, an average player, can get first every match. So it takes about 13 to 15 hours in the game time to complete and assemble a complete I-180. So 240 hours equals about 10 days. The length of the event is 13 or 15 hours. Gadget's estimate on how long it will take to get the I-180S is 9 times. So you need 9 of the I-180Ss to get all of the event vehicles. 9 coupons for 13 hours is 117 hours at best, rounded up to 120. So therefore it's about 12 hours a day. So if you have a normal schedule where you have work and you also have to sleep, this event, it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to get all of the vehicles unless you want to use the market. It's kind of as simple as that. So if you as an individual want to get all of these vehicles and also have work, have travel, all of this stuff, which is something that I personally, you know, have to deal with, then obviously it's going to be pretty much impossible to get all of these. So instead, it is better to micro it, to work out which ones you want, go for them first, and then if you get any extra stuff, you know, you can either sell it on the market or maybe you can buy stuff on the market later on. So make sure to work out what you want first, work towards that, and then if you have anything extra, then you can go from there. I know a lot of people are going to want the Merkava, a lot of people are going to want the 388, a lot of people are probably going to want the VFW, but when it comes to the other ones, you know, just don't smash yourself to pieces. It's obvious to me that this event is set up so you're not supposed to get all of these vehicles. I think that is not good and not how it should be, but it is a reality of the situation. Don't annihilate yourself for a video game, please. Instead, if you want to have fun, if you want to just play the game normally, you know, which is basically what you have to do after doing the diagnostic test stuff, do it. And do it with the community on the Tech Hub, and you'll have an absolutely wonderful time. But yeah, that is the basics of the event. It's very simple once you break it down into its subsequent parts, but obviously for people who are new to War Thunder, or who maybe this is your first event, it's going to be one of the most confusing events that you'll ever find. So also on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, since you don't have access to the market, you get some nice additions to make it a bit easier for you. So the I-180S Aircraft Recovery Manual can receive aircraft designer toolkits and battles for up to 2 hours after purchase. Using these toolkits, the players will be able to craft new components, thus significantly boosting the I-180S assembly progress. So for the PlayStation, it is easy, and Xbox, it is easier to make these I-180Ss, and as I said, that's because you guys don't have access to the market. Then, of course, we have headquarters as well. And you can trade coupons of the rare vehicles, and the coupons of the rare vehicles can be traded for a similar coupon for any other rare vehicle or 5 technician toolkits. So that's, you know, what you can do on the console, making the grind a little bit easier for you guys because of the fact, you know, you don't get the console. Overall, I am happy that this event has finally come out. It's definitely going to be a hell of a lot of work for the Tech Hub team and for the community to get all of these vehicles if you want to, but if I were you, I would just focus on a few of the vehicles that you want, and if you look at it like that, the grind isn't actually that bad. You know, let's say you want the Merkava, so all you have to do is grind out basically 3 coupons. You know, you get the I-180, and then you get 2 for the Merkava, so that's 3. If it takes 13 hours, that's 13, 26, 39. So 39 over a 10-day period is what? So 10 divided by, well, it's about 4 hours a day, or maybe even less than that since it's 11 days. So basically about 3.5 hours a day, you can get yourself a Merkava and an I1 ATS, which I think is not bad, you know, and that's if you are bog standard, you know, that is if you are just getting the average, you're not getting any firsts or anything like that. So if you look at it like that, it ain't too bad. But if you look at it like I am, where I'm a completionist, I want all of these rare vehicles, Jesus, we are in for a hell of a time. Anyway, as I said, if you want to do this event and you want to do it with people, make sure to come along on the Tech Hub, and we'll make sure to accommodate for you. On top of this, one thing I do want to point out, the Firecrest has somehow made itself into rank 3 as a researchable vehicle, but you can't research it. This comes up, and it's just kind of funny that it's there. So it has made it into the game. Here are the modifications that it has. It has 500 pounders, a torpedo, which is absolutely, well, actually no, it's not too bad. It's pretty horrible for a 4.0 torpedo. It's also got RP3s, so no extra gun pods. It's just sat with the 2 M3 Brownings. Hopefully that changes in the future. None of the other squadron activity vehicles are around, but for some reason the Firecrest is just here. There's also a search function now, so if you want to search for a specific vehicle, you can do so at your pleasure, which is a lovely, nice little thing. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank B. Young, Blackie, Dyslexic Child, Martinez, Moxie, Nito, Nick Graham, Alobralo, and Super Cacti for supporting me on Patreon.